different malls of Ayala and bringing all these pop-up concepts and talks and events and workshops all over the country to bring style to you, to make you realize that style is within our reach, it's universal. So within pop-up boutiques like this, the one in front over there, where we have a team of curated professionals led by Pam Quinones and Curator Studios, you'll find curated picks from all over the mall. So over there, actually, it's my favorite because it's a really, it's a bite-sized collection of good finds from everything that you can find in one BGC. So let's give our friends from one BGC a big round of applause. Hello, Sean Luarca, our favorite. And so now let's begin our style talk. Are you guys ready for today's style talk?
Yes.
Yes, we have so much to learn from this woman. I love her. She's a darling, she's super sweet, she's super pretty, but she's also very deep. Okay, ever since she exploded into the scene a few years ago, she's been celebrated all over the country as a TV host, a blogger, a model, an advocate, and an all-around social media sensation. Everyone, put your hands together for MariJasmine. Hello, Mari. Hello.
Hi everyone.
Mari, so we followed your career, from everything that I said earlier, from your modeling years to your TV hosting, and then people got interested with you in terms of like show business, and then you're being an advocate, and everything that you've done in your life. I want to ask, how has fashion played? What role did fashion play in your evolution?
Well, I always say that fashion didn't come to me naturally. So I grew up in Sydney in Australia, and in my suburb, literally all we wore were jeans and a tank top every day. So I was never really conscious growing up about the things I was wearing and fashion and all, to be honest. But it was when I actually came to the Philippines that I was like, whoa, people like to dress up here. And then, as it happens, I started working as a TV host, and by accident, kind of social media happened, and I had a website. And then I realized the more I kind of started to share things that were related to fashion, people really started to take an interest. I was like, oh, okay, fashion is something that's really celebrated here and something that people really enjoy doing. And so that's how I kind of started to get really interested in fashion as well. And then I had a couple of friends in the industry who were very passionate about fashion, and then you know what it's like. Everyone surrounding us is kind of into fashion.
You're with a stylist, a designer. Everybody's within the vicinity of the fashion industry. People in media, right? But earlier on, when you're right here as somebody from Australia, so dressed down, right? It's so so casual, and everybody here. She told me earlier when we were backstage, she said and then everybody here is wearing heels to the mall, to the grocery.
Like me now.
Yeah. People wear heels to go to each other's homes.
Yeah,
right?
That was so crazy for me. Like I came here and I remember going to a supermarket and someone's pushing a trolley in their heels, and I was like, whoa. That's like
they're dressed
effort. People really love dressing up,
yeah.
And they commit to it, and good for them.
And in our past style talks, we've always asked the subject, what to them is Manila style? But most of them are locals who grew up here, so it's a different point of view. But from somebody who grew up elsewhere, looking at Manila style, how would you describe Manila style?
Well, it kind of has changed over the years. So I've been in the Philippines for coming up to 7 years now. So fast. And yeah, it goes really fast. But what I noticed is when I first arrived, everyone loved glam. Even the makeup and the hair. I mean, even now, I feel like Filipinos do love a bit of glam from time to time, especially when you look at kind of like celebrity culture and billboards and I don't know, teleseries and
it was Dubai inspired. Everybody was like blinged out.
Yeah, so when I first arrived, that was kind of my impression. But I did notice a shift, especially recently, and people like to they like the tousled natural hair, and they kind of like the no makeup, and I don't know, it's changing. So I would still say on the whole, people in Manila love to dress up compared to other places that I've been to. But I think style changes as well, wherever you are.
Yeah. How about you? Your personal style evolution. How would you track it?
How would I track it? I don't know. I mean, I'm constantly learning about what I like and what I don't like as well. I think in general, from when I was a teenager, I naturally gravitated more towards simple things. I wasn't very playful in the sense that I wouldn't wear lots of loud prints and experiment with crazy colors. I usually go for something more like, neutrals and something with an interesting shape. So, that's why I love Vanya so much, because she plays with such beautiful silhouettes and her colors are normally kind of subdued. But again, I'm very open and I'm learning all the time, so that could change.
That's true. And have you had like fashion mistakes, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah, I think all of us look at photos from a decade ago.
Fashion mistakes, love life mistakes, we all make mistakes, that's part of it.
Yeah, and I hope some of those photos never reach the internet. But
the internet is forever.
Yeah, there are many things. I mean, I remember when I first started playing with makeup, I wore blue eyeshadow, and that was just it wasn't me. I didn't know how to apply it properly. It didn't look good. I don't know.
People think that makeup is easy, right? Because when you see makeup tutorials, you think you can also do it until you do it.
Yeah, it's not really not easy.
It's really a trial and error phase, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say somebody is on her way a style journey. What would you advise this person going on her style journey?
You mean advice to kind of...
To somebody who's about to start on I'm gonna, use style and empower myself and wear this and wear, how would you, what are your guidelines, say, to your 8-year-old self in terms of style?
We're starting young.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I would say, do your research. So for some people, style comes really naturally and they just have this amazingly perceptive eye and they can look at something and remember and think, oh, I'm going to try that later. For some people, like me, it doesn't come that easily. And so I think my process was kind of talking to a lot of people who were passionate about fashion. And I noticed that as soon as kind of like the people surrounding me were really interested, I kind of caught that fever and I was like, oh, I want to do my research. I would say try different things on and see how it feels, consult people, be inspired by culture, whether it's film or TV or art. Try not to hold yourself back too much, I guess, in that process of learning what you like.
I love it because I feel that you apply that kind of thinking, that kind of mindset, not just in style but also in your life. Right? When you became an LGBT advocate, you made sure that no, I wouldn't answer anything about it until I know it well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, fashion's a little bit different because the stakes are different.
Yes.
But when you're advocating for a cause, I think you have to be really careful with what you say because, especially with the queer stuff, it was really new to me, and I felt like I really didn't want to get it wrong, and I was in this position of privilege where I had a lot of people listening, so I would be doing a disservice to people and the community if I wasn't well read or educated about.
And I know that you said no to a lot of offers that came your way because you really wanted to study it and know it well before you would get into it.
Yeah, I think as a general rule of thumb, I've always said no to work that has featured my relationships specifically.
Yes.
Excuse me, I share so much of my life already online, and as a private person, I think I just have to draw the line somewhere, and relationships, one of those things.
But me too, at a certain point, and then I just gave in.
I'd say you're pretty open.
Yeah. No.
But I think it's different. Talking about your personal relationships is different to talking about a cause.
Yes. Yeah. And so let's go back to your feed, because people love your social media. How do you curate your feed? Do you wake up and say, okay, I need a little bit more pink in my in a post, or how do you curate it?
Honestly, I kind of keep my eye open all the time for things that I've always loved photography. So even when I was a teenager, one of the kind of first things I saved up for was camera. And so I think I'm just naturally attracted to visual things. So I'm always looking out for things that would make a beautiful photo, but in terms of curation, I don't know. I feel like I've let my Instagram game down so much in the past year because I started a business. So it's a lot more difficult for me now, and there are just so many creatives out there putting out so much content all the time, and I do get a bit of kind of like imposter syndrome, and do people really need to see another picture of me wearing something nice?
I know, that's what I think too, you know, when I post, do it? Okay, I'll post it, then I'll post it. But really, guys, you know, Mari is one of the, you know, least vain people I know. Because of course in this industry, we know so many vain people and they love their own pictures. But Mari is one of the least among everybody, but also because with you, it's your photographic eye that plays part in your curation of your feed, right?
I try.
You try.
But yeah.
Okay, and then so how do you make yourself better? Like, you know, in terms of your visual medium, in terms of what you do.
I would say, as with everything else, practice. The more you do it, the more you learn, the more second nature it is, and maybe that's why I'm struggling so much these days, is because I'm not practicing enough and I'm not putting enough time in it. There are great, for example, you can go to sites like, what's the site I'm thinking of? Like, there's online places where you can take courses. You can look up how to use a camera on YouTube now. I mean, we're so lucky because before you didn't have access to all this information.
So many editing apps.
Yeah, well, whether it's editing apps or whether it's tutorials about how to frame your picture or how to edit videos, there's just so much of that available for us to access for free. So I would just say put in a lot of hours, and if you really want to improve, I think it's the same with everything else, right?
Yes, exactly. But how do you deal with that, you know, like, of course when we look at other people's feeds, there's so much people who are like, you know, living so much more fun lives than us, skinnier than us, wealthier than us. How do you deal with that?
I mute a lot of people.
Okay, mute. I don't want to see your life.
Well,
Better.
I mean, we all know that we only post the good stuff mostly, right?
Yes.
So I mean, everyone's affected by it, and I think I also think about this a lot. I think about what I put out there and whether this benefits people, and you know, I mean, I have to be honest, my Instagram profile is a business as well for me, but I'm always thinking about, you know, ways to shield myself from things I don't want to see in this. You know, Instagram has some features like mute. If you're on your explore feed, you can actually press the pictures that come up and say see less of this. So you can actually curate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you keep seeing something on your explore feed and you're like, you know what, this isn't serving me, this isn't making me happier, you can see less of it.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah, so that's why I have lots of kittens and stuff on my explore feed now.
Yeah, I love kittens too. But that's wonderful. Now I know that you can curate your feed that way. Okay, so now I open the floor for questions for any of us. Guys, if you have